Welcome back to In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin. My guest is Richard deVries, who is Managing Director of Geber Brand Consulting. And we were just talking about how, Richard, you bid for a ticket to come to Asia. And it was a one-way ticket. And you won, you successfully bid the ticket, and then so you got here to Taiwan. Originally, you were just going to stay for 1 year. But you kept adding on, and it's now been 15 years. So what is it about Taiwan? Well, anyway, no, I want to know what exactly you did the first year that you came to Taiwan, because you came without a plan.
That's right. I came without a plan. I wanted to find just a little bit of work to do before I moved on. Maybe I was planning to go to Japan or maybe go to China or other places in Asia.
You were already thinking about going somewhere else.
Well, my original plan was
just keep traveling.
Just keep traveling, see Taiwan and then keep going. So
did you know Chinese then? Speak any Chinese?
No, I didn't.
And you were thinking about finding a job.
Right. It was kind of not so much planning before I came here. So I did do a little bit of traveling to other countries in the region at the beginning.
You mean around Taiwan?
Around Taiwan.
Right.
I did a lot of traveling within Taiwan as well. Mm-hmm. I traveled out of Taiwan, and in Taiwan, I ended up starting to explore other parts of Taiwan as well. I really like bicycling a lot. So my friends and I, we cycled around Taiwan, all kinds of different places, up Hoanshan.
Hoanshan, you climbed up there?
No, bicycled.
Bicycled up there.
Yeah, so 1 week, it was a really nice, very beautiful week in December. And my friends said, hey, how about we go biking up Hoanshan? And I was like, okay, sure. So
without realizing how tedious a hike it is, right?
Right, how far it is. And also we didn't know so much about the temperatures up there. So we went to Puli, Puli around Nantou. And we started biking up, and it started getting colder and colder because this was December. And I just had short sleeves, and I didn't have the right kind of clothing. And we got up and it started snowing on the way up. And my friend got altitude sickness, and I just looked as we were riding, we just looked so pathetic and so sorrowful that some Taiwanese people would take pity on us, and some of them would throw some gloves and these kind of things out to us.
You're the second person I heard how someone just offered, this person gloves because, well, he was on a motorbike and it was really, really cold, and it was stopped at a red light, and he was rubbing his hands. So the next, motorist, he just took off his glove and threw it at the foreigner, and he just kept on biking away.
Yeah. No, I mean, it happened that time. People, like I said, I was riding and they threw gloves out at me. And it kind of surprised me because, like in the West, sometimes if people are throwing stuff on you at your bike, it might be a beer bottle or something, or ice cubes. Yeah.
Well, I guess they did that without saying anything because they don't know what to say. They don't know any English, probably.
At that time, this was when I first got here, so it was very unusual to see people riding their bicycles. We often ride up to Wulai or out to Fulong on the East Coast. We often ride out there, and at that time, it was so unusual that people would be stopping or slowing down and rolling down their window and saying "Jayo, Jayo," and
means add oil, go,
right.
go, yeah.
Yeah, so they thought today, as you know, Taiwan has become a very bicycle friendly
yes,
place,
we are.
And there's so many Taiwanese people out there every weekend riding, so they don't yell "Jayo" as much. But no, so that was very, going up there and exploring Taiwan. We also did bike trips around the south of Taiwan, to Kenting and up to around again to Taidong.
Wait a minute, you're still talking about the first year you were here.
These are in the first couple years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, as I liked it, because like I say, around Taipei, you can do a lot of things outside. People don't really know that from the West. People think it's like other huge cities, but you can get out into the nature so easily.
Yeah, that is right. Within an hour's drive, you're already out in nature, in the suburbs,
Even
in the
less.
countryside.
Yeah,
even less.
Yeah.
Even less in the mountains.
Right.
There's Yami Mountain, and then, yeah.
Right. There's Maokong in the south. There's Wulai, which is close to
Hot
here.
springs.
Hot springs.
Right.
So, there's all these different things to do here that I decided, okay, I want to stay longer. However, I need to kind of build up some skills to stay in Taiwan as well, like to start my business and so on. So I started studying Chinese, and then also I took an MBA at Jenda or NCCU.
Okay. Yes, the National Zhengzhi University.
Right. Yeah, in Wucha. So for that, it was a really good experience as well. It's a really good program, and met a lot of great people that I still keep in contact, and I work with them all the time. But this allowed me to build up the skills so that I could stay in Taiwan longer and build up a business in this area. Yeah.
So why did you think about starting a company in brand consulting? What is brand consulting?
Okay, so yeah, good question. A lot of people don't know. When you hear consulting, it could be for so many different things, right?
Yeah.
Right. But we do brand and marketing consulting. So in a nutshell, we help Taiwanese companies, mostly Taiwan companies, but also some Western companies coming into Taiwan. But we help a lot of Taiwanese companies expand their market overseas. So as many of your viewers might know, or listeners, Taiwanese are famous for manufacturing great products.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, some very big brands, Giant, ASUS, Acer. In the B2B or business-to-business area, you have TSMC, you have Foxconn or Honghai. These are very good, famous MediaTek. Great companies, but a lot of Taiwanese companies might not have the marketing or the branding mindset. So that's branding is coming up with a strategy in the marketing in order to promote or build a brand, build an identity for a company. So Taiwanese companies, we go to help them to do this, come up with a strategy, the marketing plan, promotions. We do corporate film for our clients.
Oh, okay.
So my reason for that is because, like I said, I was in the chemical business in Canada before I came here. And I saw from my meetings with different companies here that they miss this aspect of the marketing and branding especially. And so I thought, okay, there's a good opportunity here to work with these great companies and build this up with them.
Yeah, I mean, you learned about this while talking to Taiwanese bosses, company directors.
Right.
That they know that that's what's lacking here in Taiwan.
Right. Yeah. A lot of them know that this is lacking, and this is the missing ingredient for some companies in order to get to the next step. If you look around the world, companies, let's say in Germany, they're quite good because they combine the great manufacturing and they also have good branding. And in America, they're very good at the marketing. Americans, are very happy to say, "Oh, we're the best at this," or "We're the best at that." But maybe their products are not always the best, but they're just great at promoting it.
Right, exaggerating.
Could be.
Okay.
Whereas for Taiwan, they have the great products, but maybe people don't know about it. Right?
Okay, right. So let's take, for example, can you do branding for a radio station?
Sure.
Yeah? What would you do for RTI? I mean, you know our background, right? We're a national radio station, shortwave radio station, and we broadcast in 13 languages to the world. So we introduce Taiwan to the rest of the world. So how do you think we can do more in the sense of branding?
Okay. Well, I would say for our process for that, we would first of all look, what we call is brand position. 品牌定位.
Where we are right now?
Where you are now, and where is a good positioning? Where's one that is good for the future, that will fit with maybe your target listeners? What kind of listeners, or what's your demographic that you are looking to attract? And then having a strategy or the steps. Okay, how can you appeal to those kind of people the best?
Yeah.
I know for this kind of station, you have a very diverse group of listeners or watchers, right?
Well, we wish.
Yeah.
Because, we've actually closed off some transmissions to certain parts of the world. So, yeah, it's not, yeah.
Right. Well, without getting into it too deeply, because I'd have to look more about RTI and so on. But, one issue is if you have too many targets, this can sometimes diminish or make your brand less powerful.
Oh.
So some of the most powerful brands have fewer products or fewer services, but really focused on a certain area or a certain group of people.
Okay.
So I would say for RTIs to really find out who are your best listeners and really find out the types of programs.
Yeah.
Hopefully they really like this kind of program.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people say that they got to know Taiwan through our programs, right? And then, shortwave listening is more, though I might be wrong, correct me if I'm, I don't know. It's just that it's more a hobby now. And then it's definitely an advantage to those countries who, don't have that much easy access to the internet, or even like, the availability of computers. Right. Then they would be the ones who still, stick to shortwave radio listening to, connect with the world. So obviously those listeners, they say, please don't shut off the shortwave radio, transmission, because ideally a lot of, some of these shortwave radios have closed down and switched to internet. Yeah, digital.
Right. So this is, I know that this is a concern for a lot of radio stations. They have the hardcore listeners who have a different reason for wanting to listen. They want to use their shortwave, and then other ones think, okay, through the internet. But then you have to invest in both, which diminishes sometimes your capability.
Yeah.
But it's interesting you say that about the shortwave, because I did listen to it was Radio Taiwan, I guess that's RTI, Radio Taiwan, when I was probably 12 years old or so, because my father and I, yes, my father and I, we used to put together like radio kits. And there's a famous brand in America, in Canada, called a Heath Kit.
Okay.
And he put together this radio, and it was a shortwave radio. And then I got a book, and I remember listening to some Radio Taiwan programs, and this would have been in the early 80s or so.
Wow. We've got a faithful RTI listener right here.
Right.
Wow.
And, it was very interesting at night, like in Northern Ontario, because we only had a few channels on TV, and you could tune in radio stations from all around the world. So in our backyard, in Canada, of course, we have, in your house, you have usually a large backyard. So my father and I would put out this long antenna, probably about 20 meters long. And
that's really long.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
And then we, had a book, and we could tune in to different stations at that time. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that was the golden age probably for shortwave radio.
Oh, could
before
be.
The internet.
Well, it was before my time. I've been here 11 years, but that was before my before that. So do you recall what kind of programs you were listening to in English? The English programs, or?
Yes, only English at that time. I didn't.
Oh, okay. So do you recall any?
No, but that was the first time I heard of
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Well, and also I believe, I know it's kind of a political thing, but they referred to it as Radio Free
Voice of Free China.
Voice of Free China.
Oh my goodness, that's what we were
Right.
called then. Yes, when
And
you were listening.
I remember being confused by that because, maybe I was 11 or 12. So I asked my mom, we had this very big atlas from National Geographic. And I'm like, wow, there's 2 Chinas and there's all these kind of things. And I thought it was very interesting, the situation. And then being able to listen to something from around the world
Right.
was really cool.
Well, now that you're here in Taiwan, I guess you figured out all the confusion you had before, right?
I think I have just as much confusion, maybe.
Okay. Well, we're not going to talk about that right now.
Right.
But all right. Well, this is really fascinating. I wish there was more of when I say a place you want to take your family.
Maybe Pingling.
Pingling?
Yes.
Have you ever... Wait. Oh, sorry. Pingling. Oh, what's over there?
Pingling, they have...
You introduced Taiwan to everybody here.
Right. Pingling is just a really nice place to go, and you can do some camping. We like to go camping sometimes, especially in the spring or the fall when the temperature is a little lower. That's another great thing about Taiwan is there's really good camping. A lot of Westerners like to go camping in the summer.
I agree.
Right,
Yeah. Is that... Gosh, I don't know my direction. Is that north, south, or of Taipei? Pingling is south?
Pingling is kind of south.
South, right?
Yeah.
And so
it's on the way to Yilan.
Okay. Oh, it's on the way to Yilan. Well, Yilan is pretty close to and pretty easy to get to.
Right.
Yeah, so it's on the way. Yeah, I think, I'm not really into camping myself, but I think the facilities has gotten better and better. Like, it makes it very comfortable. They've got the water faucets, they've got the sinks that if you want to do barbecue, and they've got, you can rent tents if you don't have your own. And yeah, I'm just there, recently actually. So yes, we've got great camping places. Yeah. All right. So that really shows, the trend that Taiwanese people are going is biking and camping and loving nature, just like you. So no wonder this place attracts you. All right. Well, great. Thank you so much, Richard. And good luck with your business, Geber Brand Consulting. Because it seems like a lot of Taiwanese businesses need you in that area. So RTI probably too.
Yeah, maybe we can talk later.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, thank you, Richard.
Okay. Thank you, Shirley. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching In the Spotlight. I'm Shirley Lin.